Hi, in this video we will learn about the CSS property which is called background size, which is closely tied to the background image CSS property. Okay, so what I have done, I have opened the documentation here on MDN about background size, and here it is saying the background size CSS property sets the size of the element's background image. Okay, now the background size CSS property can take up many of the values. As you can see, one of the values is contain, the other one is cover, and then it can take some percentages as well. If you just scroll down, you can see all of that. Okay, and we will discuss all about that in this video. So let's go ahead and see about these values. So here is one of the values which is contain, which we will be looking. So right now what is happening, we have the owl image which we don't want, and we have this image which we want to use. Okay, so which is background 2 basically. So right now what we can do, we can do something like bg2 jpeg. Okay, now if I just do that, and currently our height and the width is not that much good, so let's do the height of 800 pixel and let's do the width of 600 pixel. Okay, now if I go to the browser, as you can see here it is, and our text is here, and we are not seeing the total image currently right now. And when we can see the total image, for example, we create this particular height and the width, we set this particular height and the width exactly to the height and the width of the image, which we rarely do. Okay, so to see the total image, what we can do here, we can do background size, we can set to contain. Okay, hit save and go to the browser currently right now. So here is our image, which is basically our container is containing the whole image. Now if I just change the width to something like, for example, 2000 pixel. Okay, so let's see what happens. So if I just do that, then what you can see, our background is getting repeated over and over again. Okay, and if I change the height to, once again, something like 4000 pixel. Okay, and once again, as you can see, our background is getting repeated. Okay, so I'll just get rid of that and do something like this. So this is the background size property which have this contain value. And let's go to the documentation and see what it says. So contain scales the image as large as possible within its container without cropping or stretching the image. Okay, so here it is. And also we can set the no repeat to background repeat so that our background doesn't get repeated. Okay, now let's see the cover. Okay, so let's go here and do cover, and if I just do that, then once again there is not that much change because the aspect ratio of our image is quite good. So let me just change it to bg1 maybe. Yeah, so here is our bg1, and if I just do contain here, so now you can see the difference. Okay, so with the contain value, what is happening, our image is getting contained inside of the container. But if I use cover, then what will happen, our image will cover the container basically. So here it is. So that is why we are seeing only one portion of our image. Okay, so here is the definition of cover. So scales the image while preserving the aspect ratio, basically while preserving the image's aspect ratio to the smallest possible size to fill the container. That is, both in its height and the width completely cover the container, leaving no empty space. If the proportions of the background differ from the element, the image is cropped either vertically or horizontally, which is currently happening with our image. Our image is getting cropped, right? Because the proportions are not matching. Okay, so here it is. So here is the cover. Now, apart from that, what we can do here, if I just go here, as you can see, we can set different width and the height of the image as well. So here the first value is the width of the image and the second value is the height of the image. So we can do something like that as well. So let me just do something like 200 or 100 pixel, and let's do 200 pixel, or let's do the opposite, basically 200 pixels and 100 pixel. If I just save and go to the browser, as you can see, we have the grid. Okay, so we can change the height and the width inside of the background size as well, which we rarely use. We usually use the contain or cover. Okay, depending on the situation, basically here, as you can see, we are containing the image, or we can use the cover, so that our image covers the whole container. So currently our background size is set to cover, and what is happening inside of the browser is our image is getting cropped, and we do not have any control over the cropping of the image, basically which portion would be cropped and which portion we want to see. But these things can be controlled with different CSS properties, which we will be learning next.